Hello? Oh, good morning, David. How are you? What time is it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to fish. Sure. Yeah, okay. I'll see you down at the Wallwinnock Gatehouse at, what, 5? Yeah, I'll be there. Yep, bye.
Probably best off this.
Isn't that weird? But what a great shot it is of your car sitting there with the lights on it.
Really nice. So do you normally go fishing at 5 o'clock in the morning?
This time of year, it's your best bet. You know, the water's gotten kind of warm, and I'll tell you, the later the day gets, the more boat traffic you have, the more it spooks fish. You know, one thing I always say, I mean, and I'm full of cliches, but you know, one of the neat things about fishing is you see stuff you wouldn't normally see, or that other people don't see that much, that aren't out at this time of day. So I kind of like it. You get out, it's peaceful, nobody around. Usually the fishing is much better.
Why is that anyway?
Well, most fish feel, what should I say, less tense when it's in low light conditions. Striped bass are a real prime example. Bluefish a little less so. Bluefish are you know, a little more accustomed to feeding the light, although you can catch them in the dead of the dead of night. But the stripers really like low light conditions this time of year. It gives, you know, they feel comfortable moving into shallower water is really what it is. Now, if we had water off of here where, you know, it was 20 feet deep right off the beach, like you see in some places, it'd probably be a little different. You could fish real deep for them, and it wouldn't matter. But here, it's very rare that you're throwing into more than, you know, 6 or 8 feet of water from the beach.
Right.
So you know, they need to feel comfortable about where they are.
So where are we going?
We're going to head out toward Great Point. Usually what I tend to do is I drive out along the beach. If I see something that looks good, a slick, you know, if I see birds working, you know, over bait or over fish, that's a good sign. If I see swirls in the wash, that's one thing I look for. A lot of people just drive out and they're not really looking at the sort of the little things. You know, I find it's the subtle nuances that make the difference between, you know, catching a lot of fish sometimes and not catching fish at all. You know, lots of times I've been on my way to Great Point and you see a swirl in the wash, you get out and you start casting, you catch a bass.
Do you actually look for those, like swirls, you say, and slicks? I mean, is that
oh, sure.
Of being a good fisherman is looking for those things? Or do you know where there's crevices or little, what do you call them?
Most of our beaches are relatively nondescript, I would say. What I mean by that is we don't have a lot of rocky points or, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
When I'm driving out here, this beach is pretty well vanilla. I mean, there's not a lot of places that look a lot different. There are places where I've caught fish in the past that seem to hold fish. I can't tell you why. Maybe there's a hole there. Could be lots of things. Could be just my memory thinks that's what's happening. But generally, I'm looking all the time. I mean, I can't tell you how many times you see fish if you're looking for them, and I don't mean you make them up. I mean, you see, you're retrieving a plug. Yesterday, this happened to us. We were out and we were throwing out. It was sort of dark, and we were using fluorescent plugs, and we kept seeing what looked like fish sort of coming up behind them. And what I mean by that is you see an anomaly in the water behind the lure. Maybe it's just the thrust of their tail, you know, sort of causes a bulge in the water or whatever. Because of that, what we did was we changed lure color. We went, even though, you know, normally fluorescent colors tend to be better, you know, in low light conditions. We went to just red and white plugs, and I'll tell you, that was the key. Then we started catching fish.
Mm-hmm. So you could probably, I mean, seeing that you write an article in the paper, and you know, it's a very popular fishing article. What's it called? What's the exact?
It's not my choice of a name, but it's called Fish Finder.
Fish Finder, there it is. If you had a CB radio, you'd be known as the Fish Finder.
No, I don't know.
Go on, get your ears on, Fish Finder.
No, I don't know what it would be, but I don't think it'd be that. There are other things you look for too, and I mean, some of them I know are going to sound really obvious, but you'd be amazed people miss them too. One thing I look for as I ride along the beach, sometimes you'll actually see bait up on the beach. Fish will chase them up onto the beach. I've even gone down the beach and seen slashed up pieces of fish on the beach, you know, like small herring that have been chopped in half.
How about the birds? Do they tell you anything, David?
Well, terns do.
Terns do.
I've rarely had a seagull help me out at all. Seagulls are scavengers, terns are hunters. Terns are out there. One thing you have to learn is when terns are just on bait, or when they're on fish, which is pushing bait to the surface. And what I mean by that is very often you'll see the terns sort of feeding, and they're you know, they may be feeding very assiduously, but it's just feeding. When they're focused on a ball of bait fish, and that's what it really is, the predator fish actually ball them up and force them to the surface. What happens then is you'll see terns focused really tightly on one spot, diving like crazy. Very often, if it's bluefish that are pushing the bait up, you'll see that the terns don't actually go into the water. They just sort of skim it and pick stuff up. You know, they know better than to get in the way of the jaws of a bluefish. Yeah, very flat over there. That generally makes it less likely there will be fish, though.
It does, really?
Well, what I mean by that is the wind in your face is almost always advantageous when you're surf casting. What it does is it pushes the bait up onto the beach. You know, anytime you have rough water, it tumbles the bait around. The predator fish are a lot stronger swimmers. They can prevail in a current. You know, in a crashing surf, you can have bass right up on the beach. You can't believe they can see anything in the water, much less catch it, but they're incredibly powerful swimmers, whereas the silver sides and the sand eels just literally cannot make it when it's like they're getting just bashed around, and the bigger fish just pick them off at leisure. I get it. Point used to be Great Point was deep. You went right to the point. There were always fish there. I find that less so these days. Although this guy looks like, I don't know if he's got a fish on or not. Yeah, he does. It's Mike Cody with a guy that he's probably guiding.
Oh, right.
Mike's a beach guide here. Yeah. And they have been catching some bass up here right here. Early in the morning. You'll see these are the only bodies around today, which is unusual.
Oh, they've got fish, don't they?
They certainly do. And it looks like a couple of nice, possibly bass up there. Want to give it a look?
Yes, great.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Cody, you getting some bass? Beautiful.
He's caught 3 this size.
What are you fishing with?
Hopkins.
Oh.
Bucktail.
I'm just going to try this to start with, but I'll probably do something. This one, 28? Just.
That was almost
This
30.
guy's filming right here, Gino Gang, so he might get a little publicity.
Birds way out. They were
Oh, that's great.
200-300 yards out. You just couldn't get to them.
Well, we'll use something light here and see what we can do.
Are you going for bonita?
No, I'm going to try for some bass here with a surface plug, though.
Yeah.
I saw them breaking out
Oh, yeah,
here.
they're going crazy. They were under the birds just coming out of the water.
I got a biscuit for your dog, by the way, I gotta remember. You want it to be coming in sort of like this. It leaves a lot of disturbance, and you get a great strike. That's why I like using it. Although I will tell you, these guys are using metal, you know, Hopkins, and if I don't do anything with this in a couple of minutes, I'll probably try what they're trying.
Right.
I'm not totally stuck with anything. Oh, you can see fish breaking way out.
You can see something out there?
About 100 yards out, I just saw a nice fish right under those birds. So. Gino, I'll be back. I'm going to grab a different plug.
Okay.
Mike's got one on. Great day.
How many people are going to be out here next?
All I need to do is catch a fish.
Oh yeah, you'll get one.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, I'd rather get fish, but kind of getting a kick out of watching these guys. They're using a Hopkins, a little, metal lure. I really like these jigs, but obviously I'm picking the wrong stuff all down the line, and I'm on this guy's line. Great. Yeah, I'm going to walk around the side of him. I think I need to be over here, I think. I'm in the wrong place. Well, that's nice. Everybody's catching them but me today. You got a bass or a bluefish? Blue and a bass. I like it. Maybe you guys are reaching better with that.
I think that's what it is, David. But earlier they moved in close.
Yeah, well, I've seen some in very close. They're just not finding my lure.
What are you doing?
I'm just going to get a bigger. Oh, yeah, I can't reach him, I think. How you doing, Don?
How are you?
I think there's a seal over in here, too. There was one out here yesterday that was picking off. There it is. Too bad. Got a lot of hits.
Nothing yet?
Nah, it looks like it's sort of dying out, but we'll give it a try.
There's a seal over there with a split in his side. Yeah.
Oh, we'll give him a call.
Can you?
I got a cell phone. We'll give him a
Really?
Yeah. Say, a little, probably 500 feet down from the point. I'm just going to call the police department and tell them.
Yeah.
Looks like a young one. See how he's white?
Yeah, it's definitely got a bad little slice in its side.
Yes, I'm out here at Great Point, and there's a hurt seal out here on the beach. I thought you guys might be able to notify the Marine Mammals Stranding Team.
How far out?
It's about 500 feet to the left of the point, right up on the beach here. According to a guy who was out here yesterday, was here yesterday too, has a slash in its side. It's probably a propeller.
Okay. Your name?
David Goodman.
Okay, David, I'll let them know.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, we've done our good deed for the day.
Yes, we did. Now, you know what kind of karma that is, right?
I don't know. I know. The rate I'm going, I'll probably have to do a lot better. I'll have to do a Mother Teresa.
I have a feeling, my friend, that something good's going to come from it.
I don't know. These guys look like they're back into fish again.
Are they really?
Yeah. Well, I think the fish just moved down here, and look at that nice bass that way. Oh, another nice bass. Let's pull it. Oh, this guy's killing him.
Wow.
This is why you get up early, though. Maybe not why I do, but these guys did. I'm not using a leader. I tell you though, I don't get many cutoffs without a leader. It's amazing. I worry more about a big bass hitting.
You know that once you fill them and you set the hook, you're fine. It's just people that let them hang out there.
Yeah, that's true. But the other thing too is, unless there's a ton of fish, when there's a bunch of fish hitting at it, then they get kind of. Oh, fish just broke right there, right in front of you. We've been out all day. Oh, Gino, you're too much. The Pearl Bomber strikes again. It's amazing. He's casting about a third of the distance of anybody here. Step on him. Ah, come on, come on. A lot of people think if you pin them down, you know, that's it. It is. There are times when I have bare feet on, I'll put my foot on one lightly just to keep them from jumping around, but you can't just put any pressure on them whatsoever. That's really bad for them. Right. I mean, these are animals that swim in water. Their bodies are not made to be on hard surfaces or to be, dealt with harshly is the best way to put it. I'm not even going to skin it out. We'll save that for at home. But I'd like to at least get rid of the rack back in the ocean rather than leave it for, Miles Reese or Albert Johnson. So you just cut behind the gill. And with Bluefish, I just run straight down, which is not great for your knife, but it makes a nice fillet.
Right straight down the backbone?
Yep.
See all the purple in here?
Yeah.
You know how pretty it is?
Yo, beautiful.
With the light. Look at the bigger one. Turn that up a little bit, Mike. Where
There you
can really
go.
See it. See the purple?
Oh man, that is beautiful.
In fact, there's a lot of stripers in the water. They call it purple water because all you see is this in the water.
So what do you think, Cody? A lot of the fish are definitely back now, right?
Yes. In fact, there's better chances of catching a striper than there are blues these days. We've been catching more stripers than blues. They've come back really strong.
Kenny Tin Squid, they call him.
Kenny, you're a big bass fisherman?
Well, he's definitely a big something.
Well,
I know.
big, but wow, look at that.
What a guy.
Beautiful.
And that bucktail and all. 2.5 hours worth of work.
Beautiful.
Yeah, let that
So
down.
what's going on?
They were catching bass like crazy right at the point when we got there at about 5:30. And
Any size?
yeah.
Yeah, good size
Yeah,
fish?
they had a couple of nice fish, and they caught a lot of fish. They were real it was stout fish. You know, they were nice and round. They weren't skinny.
Football.
Yeah, they had 5 keepers, I guess. Cody and a guy with them.
Well, they walk up.
No, you can drive right up now.
You can drive up to the point now?
Plovers got drowned in the storm, I guess.
Oh,
So
gee. Isn't that too bad?
Here we go. We're just talking about the plovers. Well, it is too bad, but you know.
I know, what can you
I'm
do?
glad I can drive up there now.
Yeah. Big school of Bonita on Hoyks Hollow.
Oh, yeah?
Just kept going by, and going by, and going by. It took them about 15 minutes to
Did
get
you
by.
catch anything?
How often do you fish?
Well, let's put it this way: since September of last year, I've missed 4 days.
You fish in the wintertime as well?
Yeah.
What do you fish for then?
I'm fishing the ponds.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. We had ice. We had skin ice for 4 days. Those are the 4 days I missed.
That's terrific, kid. Die hard.
Well, not die hard. I just enjoy it. You know, I don't gamble. I don't drink.
That's the harbor you're looking towards, although you can't even see it.
Oh, I know. So you've got to go to work now.
You betcha.
Jeez. That's a long day, doesn't it? It makes for a long
That's
day.
okay.
doesn't it?
That's okay. This kind of makes it easier to go to work. What's that? Head for the mountains? Oh, sorry. It's like this.
Yeah.
It's like a tennis match now. That's right. I'll tell you, see, this price, you know, it bothers me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my natural whatever. Oh, that's there. Get a shot of that way.
Oh yeah, there we go.
It's just when I see these
natural.
black guys doing the livery truck, all I can think about is coachmen, you know, like in the
Yeah,
South.
I know.
I mean, this is disgusting what they've done here, I think.
Yeah. Do you think so?
Oh, yeah. And
Because it used to be kind of like the
it was this
getaway.
funky old place. It was, you know,
Right. But now they've made it that exclusive place where you can.
it's glitzy and
Glitzy
I don't,
getaway.
I'm not that impressed, but anyway, it's just me. What can I tell you?
All right, David. Thank you very much.
Had a good
What
time.
a great time that was.
Glad you caught a couple of bass. I wish I had.
Well, I got lucky, and you gave me the right
No,
lure. You didn't
no.
want to use a popper. You just
Well,
wanted to try
no, I
other things.
was just trying different things,
Yeah.
and I thought they'd work, and they didn't, and that's how it goes some days. But
boy, the fish are out there.
yeah. Well, as I said, you know, when you take people to fish, then you can just claim responsibility for that too. So that way, it's a no-lose situation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I appreciate it.
We'll do it again.
You bet. I look forward to it.
Okay.
Thanks, David.